Yo, what's up? Ricky Sanders here. If you live for fast cars, greasy hands, and solving problems under the hood, welcome to your new favourite spot. I'm all about real fixes, no BS, and showing you how to keep your ride running like a champ. So go ahead, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's make some noise in the garage. Enough talk, let's get ready.
Every driver dreams that his car worked properly, did not break down at the most inopportune moment. Often owners are faced with such an unpleasant problem when the car stalls when braking. If the motorist does not understand the repair of the vehicle, then there is no need to hurry to fix the problem on your own. The reasons why the car's engine stalls when braking can be several: damage or structural integrity, failure of the hydro-vacuum hose. Brake fluid has reached a critical point. The gasoline pump has failed, is heavily contaminated. Idle speed sensors are malfunctioning. The hydraulic vacuum hose is one of the causes of failure. To establish a more precise cause of the breakdown, it is necessary to visually inspect the vehicle. It is advisable to diagnose the machine one by one. You can start with the vacuum hose. To check its integrity, first you need to turn off the engine, and then pump the brake pedal 6 times. At the final action, the pressed brake pedal should remain concave to the floor. After that, you can start the engine. If the pedal of the vehicle returns to the reverse position, it indicates that the vacuum pump is functioning properly. If the pedal does not tend to occupy the former position, then it is necessary to look for a leak. Most often, the leak occurs in the area of fixation of the hose with the booster or manifold. If the liquid is found on the hose itself, then this indicates that it is the cause of the problem. Checking fuel pump operation. Even a minor breakdown of the pump adversely affects the functioning of the engine. The car slows down sharply, the idle speed is triggered. For a certain period, the fuel stops flowing, and then the supply resumes. It is at this time that gasoline can stop flowing and the car stops. The supercharger is located near the carburetor. It is necessary to slightly loosen the clamp located next to it. Then the fuel is pumped manually. This operation will need to be done several times. The indicator of the work of the pump is the pressure exerted on the finger. If the pressure is high, then work will be required to replace the filter and clean the pump. A complete lack of pressure indicates that the gasoline pump is not working. It is necessary to replace it with a new spare part. Breakdown of the idle speed regulator. If the load on the power unit is sharply reduced when slowing down the movement by abrupt braking, the machine begins to turn on the pre-idling mode. Then, according to the norm, the sensor should automatically turn on. It is responsible for controlling the engine speed. If the sensor is defective, it leads to the fact that the motor simply does not have time to switch to idling. The engine speed starts to drop, and then it stops functioning altogether. The motorist can detect the illiterate work of the motor if he concentrates his attention on floating idle speeds. Their manifestation is implicit if you sharply press and then release the brakes. This problem is quite common. You will need a multimeter to check the sensor operation. If you do not have this tool, you will not be able to measure the voltage. Therefore, it is desirable to always have it in the car. The power strip should be disconnected from the sensor. It is necessary to insert the first probe into the hole of pins A and D. The second probe should touch the housing. After that, it is necessary to turn on the engine. Next, it is worth looking at the readings of the meter. The voltage on it should show 12 V. This indicator may be slightly higher, but insignificantly. If the scoreboard of the measuring device does not show anything, then it is advisable to check the wires or the circuit completely. If the indicator is within 12 V, continue the diagnostic procedures. Keep the engine running and continue to measure the resistance. Only outputs A and B, C, and D are of interest. If the voltage is, for example, for VAZ 2109530M, then this indicator is considered good. On the contrary, if the motorist saw other data, then the sensor will have to be cleaned or replaced. Use of low-quality fuel. It is very common for the car to stall when braking when there is a clogged throttle valve. It helps to reduce the load when the engine speed is reduced sharply. The choke is often clogged when the gasoline is of very low quality. In this case, plaque builds up on the exhaust system over time. The flapper then becomes sluggish. Regulation of the fuel-air mixture is not carried out at the proper level. It is noted that the spark plugs are flooded. The engine stalls when braking. The situation can be corrected by cleaning or replacing the flap. Other causes of breakdown. The throttle position sensor can also stop functioning properly. This can cause the engine to stall when braking. If the sensor was cleaned, and the problem is still relevant, this indicates that this device is malfunctioning, gives errors. As a rule, such an element as a sensor is mounted in the car for the entire operational period. This problem can be eliminated by replacing the sensor. Why can the engine still stall? If the car does not go when braking, it is not unreasonable to carry out a diagnosis of the automatics. Unfortunately, this system of the vehicle often functions with a failure. Often onboard computers stop functioning. To eliminate these malfunctions, it is advisable to contact qualified specialists. Thus, the problem of replacing the engine while driving is common. Its causes can be established by conducting a diagnosis of the vehicle. They can be very diverse. It is important to detect and eliminate difficulties in a timely manner. In conclusion, experiencing a car stall when braking can be both frustrating and concerning. Understanding the potential causes, such as issues with the fuel system, electrical problems, or brake system malfunctions, is crucial for effective troubleshooting. By addressing these issues promptly and seeking professional help when necessary, you can ensure your vehicle remains safe and reliable. Regular maintenance and inspections can also prevent these problems from arising in the first place. Thank you for watching, and drive safely.